Hey everyone, James Reeves, TFB TV. I hope you watched and enjoyed our SHOT Show coverage on TFB TV Showtime. I hope you watched and enjoyed our top 5 handguns of SHOT Show 2026. Today we're talking about the top 5 long guns of SHOT Show 2026. After this, I'm going to wrap it up with the top 5 accessories. Doing things a little bit differently this year. I let our Subscribe Star supporters make this list. Every single gun you're about to see, every single gun you're about to hear about, selected purely based on votes from the people who keep this channel independent. I don't take money for reviews. I can only do this because of the support that I get through Subscribestar. I don't take like free product, free guns. Ammo comes from Ventura Munitions. We give away over $2,000 in prizes every single month. We do fun stuff like this, polls where you guys get to decide what matters. Free stuff from 511, Top Gun Supply, Blue Alpha, you get it. Think about supporting us. Let's get into the video. Number 5, a little weird because honestly, to me, the number 1 gun of SHOT Show would have been the Daewoo or the S&T Motive K7. I've been lucky enough to own 2 Daewoo K-Series rifles over the years. They were imported by Kimber, and anyone who's screwed with the Woo knows it ain't poo. I thought that was good. You can imagine how excited I was to see the Bavarian Bulgogi itself, the German-Korean hybrid K7 up front, indistinguishable from an MP5 SD. In the rear, looks like a 9mm PCC version of a K-Series rifle. Who knew K-pop Claudia Schiffer would turn out to be this hot? The original K-Series rifles came about because Korea didn't want to import M16s. They hybridized the AR-15 with their own platform. That's why K-Series rifles actually share some AR components. The story here with the K7, pretty familiar. Korea got sick and tired of HK's shit, just like all of us. They said, screw it, we're going to make our own MP5 SD, but with the same manual arms as the K-Series, which makes a ton of sense. Unfortunately, this one's a bit of a phantom pick. I wish it were the real number 5. Importing suppressors into the US, a nightmare. The K7's integrally suppressed. It's part of the gun. Could it happen? Maybe. But it would take some serious logistical gymnastics to convert them once they get over here. But Uncle Carl, I know you're watching this video, Carl Bruger, if you're listening, call the Koreans, help them out. The real number 5 would have to be whatever the S&T Motive. I was calling it like the Korean MPX.
We decided and planning to develop semi-automatic, like a PCC, into commercial markets. That's what we are planning to do.
This one's coming to the US. It uses a delayed blowback system. I wasn't allowed to take it apart. Translation, me and Charles talking a little bit sketchy. The important thing, not a straight blowback. It also appears to be modular like an MPX with an ambidextrous swappable front charging handle. Otherwise, yeah, it looks a lot like an MPX. So does it reinvent the PCC? No. But a lot of enthusiasts, myself included, would be perfectly happy adding another 9mm PCC to the safe if it comes from the Woo. Woo! Number 4 is the controversy slot. And this one's controversial because I generally think 3D printed guns are dog shit. If I'm gonna risk life and limb shooting something, I'd rather do it with a $900 AUG than a homebrew science project or that stupid Glock bong thing that my buddy PSR made me shoot. But that said, the Nylog, I think this is called the Nylog, it's an impressive feat. The idea, very clever, takes original Steyr AUG parts kits, builds them around a 3D printed receiver, which I'm assuming is Nylog. There are trade-offs. No quick change barrel. Obviously, you've got something other than the stock made out of plastic, but if you've always wanted an AUG, but the price tag kept you out of the game, this is an incredible way in. I've been to the Steyr factory, fellas. I've interviewed Austrian special forces who have carried the AUG. I've owned multiple AUGs. I've reviewed them. I've had them for years. Some of my most favorite guns ever made, arguably the best bullpup you can buy today. Steyr cold hammer forges the barrels, the internals, built to last. Buying one of these kits is like buying a Camry with 85,000 miles on it. It's seen some shit, but it's not even halfway through its life. What I've been told by end users of the AUG, the weak point is actually the stock eventually starting to kind of split, like a hairline split and leak gas a little bit. We're not talking about like snapping in half, just wear over time. The upside, AUG stocks and parts cheap and easy to find. Would I own this if I could afford a real AUG? Probably not. But am I putting this on the list because people who don't have $2,000 to drop on the best bullpup of all time should maybe get themselves or think about getting themselves this little Snoop Augie Og here for under $1,000 while parts kits still exist? Yeah. I mean, and you guys picked it anyways. Number 3, hope you're enjoying this list. I am. If you didn't, it's y'all's fault because they're Subscribe Star supporters, all 1,000 of them. They're the ones who picked these guns. This is one of those rare years, though, where I kind of agree with everything that the audience said. Like, I agree with all these picks. We've been simpatico so far. That includes this, number 3, the next generation SCAR, the Mark II, as I've been calling it, also known as the 16S and the 17S. It feels like everyone's always mad at a gun company for something these days. Let me try it here. Ruger, Glock, Springfield, Sig. I think the only manufacturer no one's managed to get mad at is Beretta. And honestly, who could be mad at those guys? FN, though, they're not immune from the hate. Oh, no. People are absolutely fucking livid about FN, mainly about the SCAR. One of the most popular comments in my video, people were pissed about the suppressor. You know, the SCAR, it's a lot like a Glock. It's an excellent weapon system. If you're too good at something for too long, then people start inventing reasons to hate you. I get it. This is where you drop your James Reeves is a closet homosexual joke in the comments. The SCAR took a PR hit because of this idea that running a suppressor voided the warranty. It's actually not true. FN just did a bad job of explaining it. Their policy basically the same as everyone else's. If you break your gun with a shitty suppressor that you installed improperly, they're not going to send you a new one. That somehow turned into this internet urban legend that simply the act of putting a suppressor on the gun voided the entire warranty. Not the case. If it broke for some other reason, doesn't matter what suppressor you have on there, they'd fix it. Put all that aside, FN made some real upgrades with the Mark II. Hydraulic buffer, similar to the B&T APC series. A revised bolt system, 2-piece bolt to reduce recoil. New M-LOK forend. Modular rear end, lets you run the UGG boot if you like that, or an AR style stock, or whatever else you want. Backwards compatible with legacy SCARs. There was a whole bunch of stuff. Just go look at that video because I can't even keep track of all of it. Unfortunately, these are not cheap. But European SOCOM approved combat rifles rarely are. I don't even own one of these motherfuckers, so you know it's bad. That said, FN listened to end user feedback. They delivered meaningful improvements, and that's why you guys picked it for number 3. Number 2, and honestly, this one was in the running for number 1, was one of my favorites, but you guys picked the 990 SPX. When Mossberg announced the 990, I was genuinely excited. I had known about it earlier because it was originally requested by European users who wanted a compact semi-automatic 12 gauge that they could run with a bird's head grip chopped. When it finally dropped, I requested one immediately, and I did what any sane, reasonable person would do. I SBS'd it right out of the box. Didn't even fire it with a bird's head grip, just threw a Magpul stock on it. The recoil system, it's built into the magazine tube up front instead of the stock like most semi-autos, which gives you way more versatility. You can run a folder, you can run no stock at all, you can run a pistol grip, you can do what I did, throw anything from a Mossberg 500 on it, like a Magpul stock. I love it. We did a 500 round burn down at Thunder Ranch. I haven't published it yet. It passed with flying colors. Ours ran pretty much perfectly. Some people have complained about feeding issues after getting a stamp, throwing the stock on it, but this is why the SPX matters. Shock waves are gassed for pistol grip use, a little bit more give. When you add a stock, there's less give. The SPX fixes this, tunes it with this revised gas system specifically for short-barreled shotguns to be used with a stock. With tax stamps currently at 0, now is the time, in my opinion, to buy the factory SBS version. Mossberg knows these are going to be popular. They said they can only make so many at a time. So I would suggest if you find one, I'd probably snap it up. I'm going to, might even burn the motherfucker down just because. Finally, we get to number 1. A worthy number 1, the overwhelming favorite. I think it got more votes itself than everything else combined, which is crazy. So there's no controversy here, just the sweet songs of Setsa. We're talking about the Zastava M84, also known as Setsa. I explained that in my full review about this gun. Before we get in the M84, you got to understand what it came from. The PKM. The M84 is basically a PKM. It's brutally reliable, lightweight, fires a full power cartridge, capable of genuinely impressive accuracy for a belt fed. Now, I've heard this story enough times firsthand from veterans of the Yugoslav wars. that I believe it's true. PKM-derived guns, they're often compared to the AK, which makes sense because there's some shared DNA, but the M84 is genuinely accurate as a GPMG. There's no semi-auto mode, it's either full blast or nothing, so gunners would pull every other round out of a belt, spread sets as legs, which is what they call deploying a bipod, and they could lay down almost sniper-accurate fire while conserving ammo just one shot at a time. I've been to the factory, I've shot one of these guns fresh out of the crate. They're so controllable that I can rip a full belt from the hip, and unlike the M60, the feed mechanism's strong enough that you don't even need to support the belt when you're shooting it. Do that with an M60, it'll choke immediately. Build quality, unmistakable. It's got a thick black finish that looks like something off an HK MP5. Everything that's supposed to be tight is tight. Everything that's supposed to be a little loose is oiled up tits on glass. Not making this up, guys. This is 100% true. Every detail. The day I shot the M84 in Serbia is the same day that I had a couple beers with my buddy Ranko from Zastava Arms USA in a hot tub in the basement of the Hotel Moscow in Belgrade. Totally true story. I told him, dude, you got to get the M84 and the M21 to the United States. And the crazy Serb did it. I've talked to people who carried this gun. I've talked to people who built it. I've got to agree with Ian McCollum. This is arguably the best GPMG ever made. Yeah, it's going to be a semi-automatic version. Yeah, it's going to be expensive, but you're getting it straight from the factory, not some butchered parts kit assembled by, I don't know, a Cleveland Browns fan in a garage. The M84 is finally coming to the US. I'm pumped, you're pumped, and that's why this is a very fitting #1. If you want to keep lists like this, independent, supporter-driven, you like this content, please think about checking us out, subscribestar.com/TFBTV. That's how we keep it rolling. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.